Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today is the day before I take delivery of my Cybertruck. Check out my tan line. I don't normally wear t-shirts, but on a weekend, on a Sunday, and I am supporting one of the Tesla shirts when they broke the window. This was years ago. I've owned this shirt, and I am excited to get my Cybertruck tomorrow. So tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. is my delivery. I will be, of course, recording it and sharing my experiences with the Cybertruck. I live on 35 acres out in the middle, kind of nowhere, I guess. I do have neighbors 70 some acres away or so, but we live on a 11.5 mile dirt road that sees oil from the county, tons of rocks, gets washboarded out, tons of mud. And so we're going to see how the Cybertruck does. I do own a Model Y. I have owned a Model 3 for 4 years prior to purchasing a Model Y. And I have to say my biggest complaint with the Model Y is the rattles. The interior has a lot of noise while driving. Of course, you can turn the music up, but I'm not one to have a lot of loud music to cover up the sounds that I'm hearing in the vehicle, but we have gotten used to it. Now, when you hit the pavement, the Model Y quiets right down. There's really no rattles while we're driving around town and things like that. But on my dirt road, yeah, there's quite a bit of rattles. As a matter of fact, this passenger seatbelt rattles so much that I click it in when nobody's in there. It's just annoying. And there's a rattle over my head where my seatbelt comes down with plastic. There's a lot of rattles in the back where the hatches, or the lifting hatches. And I have to say my Model 3 didn't have as many rattles, but I think that's because it had the trunk closed and the seats and things were kind of sealed in the back, and the Model Y is just such a larger envelope of space. But that's my biggest complaint about the Model Y is the rattles. So I'm very excited to see how the Cybertruck does. I've heard really good things. It's a solid truck that from Dirty Tesla, who now owns one, and he lives on a dirt road in Michigan. He says it's very quiet with very minimal noise. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited to hear just the whole experience of it. So I'm going to be sharing the good, the bad. I think I have a different perspective on the Cybertruck because I come from driving diesel AT4, Duramax truck, crew cab, long bed, all the bells and whistles, to going to a Cybertruck, right? And so you're going to see a lot of people that drive diesels are going to hate on this truck. I would say number one reason is range and towing, right? I've accepted the fact that I will not be able to tow my camper as far. Now with my camper, it's a Momentum from Grand Design. It's actually a UTV hauler, toy hauler. When it's fully loaded with all the water and everything, maximum capacity is 11,500. That would put it 500 pounds over the rating of the Cybertruck. I don't ever load it that heavy, and so I will be maximum around 11,000 pounds, which would be the maximum towing capacity. So I will try and to see how far I can get with my Momentum, with my UTV. Obviously, not trying to go to a place that I will get stuck and stranded in. But we have areas up here where there's no chargers. For example, Walden, Colorado, which is up at the top of Poudre Canyon. It's kind of the junction, if you will, of that area, the only town around. You can go to Steamboat, you can head to Wyoming from there. But there's nothing. There's no charging at all, not even a campground. So I know for a fact the Cybertruck will not get me up there with a trailer behind it. So that does limit my ability to take the UTV and my camper up to like the sand dunes of Walden, some camping areas up there, maybe Gould, if any of you are familiar with the Poudre Canyon area. I will not be able to do that. So that is a sacrifice that I have just, I will have to make and accept. And I am okay with that. A couple reasons. Well, bought the truck for the business because I knew what the savings would be. I knew that the savings in fuel And I did a full spreadsheet calculation, printed it all out, and I was looking at about $700 a month in savings. Now, we're counting for everything. We're counting for the maintenance, we're counting for the fuel costs and all of that. And the reason is because these diesel trucks, they need maintenance all the time, fuel filters and oil filters, and it seems like it needs it a lot. You've got the DEF system, that's, you're constantly putting diesel exhaust fluid in this thing, and it was quite pricey to own and operate and drive. And so that should be significant savings for me. Now, the payment on the vehicle, when you compare the two payments, so I'm buying, this is the all-wheel drive that I am purchasing for $100,000. The AT4 that I bought at the time was $81,000. I was looking at upgrading that truck, and the new trucks are $100,000. So I was going to buy another $100,000 truck anyway, which I don't know how smart that is. It's always smarter to buy something used, but I've always bought used trucks, and I thought, hey, I'd like a new truck. I'd like one that's new for myself. I've been around long enough now where I felt like I deserved it and had the money for it. But the Cybertruck will cost me about $300 more in the payment per month. I'm saving around $400 a month. Now, is that a lot? Just kind of depends on how you look at it. But the other sense of it is I really enjoy electric vehicles. I've always enjoyed Tesla. I've always enjoyed supporting Tesla and their mission for what they're doing. And now you're seeing the rest of the world kind of following along with what Tesla's doing. And, love it or hate it, the Cybertruck is there, and it's, people hate it or love it. And it's interesting to see that more people online will hate it, but in person they love it. And I think that's just because when you see it on your phone or your computer screen, you can't see the three dimensions of it. You don't get the overall feel and actual experience of the truck. And when you see it in person, it is a different experience for sure. And it's hard to grasp that, because I've heard that many times, and until I actually experienced it was like, whoa, yeah, this is a different experience for sure. So I'm excited, and like I said, I'll be sharing everything that's going on, the good, the bad. Do I have any recalls? Do I have any issues where I gotta take it back to the Tesla Center? There's so much unknown. My kids are super excited for it. I think the younger generations are more excited about differences and change when they see this truck. It's so exciting for them, where people my age, who are getting up towards 50 in the next few years, are so used to all the pickups that they've seen their entire life, and then they see this thing and they're like, what the heck is that? Because I have to admit, the first time I saw it, I was like, what are we doing? Where are we at? How does this thing work? Like, what? Right? Because there was nothing to compare it to, and the human mind has nothing to compare it to. You don't know if you love it or hate it. You probably more hate it because you're like, whoa, right? I don't know about that. But it grew on me over the years, and then seeing it in person, it was definitely an eye changer. It was a game changer for me. This Cybertruck will spend its life, at least for now, outside. My garage is only big enough for my Model Y and my storage. I have a charger in the garage, and I have a charger at the top level of my home, which is the universal charger. It's ready for the power share module, but it will spend its time outside in the sun, in the wind, in the rain, in the snow. It will live on 11.5 miles of dirt road, and then it will spend a lot of time driving. Will it be sufficient to get me to my jobs? And some days I drive a lot, and I'm kind of worried. Do I need to charge more than 80%? Do I need to be 90%? Is that going to limit my range over time? As if I charge over 80%, will that affect the battery capacities and stuff like that? So there's a lot to it. And then coming from a guy who drove a diesel to work and hauls trailers. I do have an enclosed trailer for work. I have another flatbed trailer for work. I have my camper that I could take out. And obviously I'm going to have to calculate that range, and when the extended range battery pack comes out, when it's readily available, and I may get involved in that, but I'm really hoping they drop the price. Like, let's let the first guys get all that, and then I will get into that later, because I do have other trucks. I mean, I have some gas trucks that I have on the property. I have an old GMC, we call her Old Gray. If you look at some of our videos going UTV riding, Old Gray's got almost 360,000 miles on it with the original motor. I did rebuild the tranny only because the pump went out, but I was like, hey, you got it open, just rebuild the whole thing. So that truck, long bed that I've had since, that's a 2011 truck, and then I have a 2015 gas truck as well. That's a Chevy Silverado 3500, is my only short bed truck, but that truck can handle hauling my camper if need be long distances, and I just leave the Cybertruck at home. And I'm fine with that for now, because most of my daily driving will be with the Cybertruck, which will save me a lot of money in fuel and operating costs. And that's really why I got involved with the Cybertruck. It was exciting to hear that it's bullet resistant, and maybe the glass won't chip, because we get chipped glass all the time here in Colorado. They use a lot of sand, and they don't magnesium chloride, and everyone's kicking up rocks on the dirt roads, and so there's a lot of rocks, and my Model Y's already got a few chips in it. And so I'm happy to see how the window will handle the roads and the bumps. I have heard that some of the Cybertrucks have had glass cracking, and maybe these rough roads will represent the same result. So we'll find out. And of course, that should all be under warranty until they figure all this out. But is the Cybertruck worth it? In my opinion, I hope yes, right? Like, I think it will be worth it if I can save $400, $500 a month. And I love the idea of the locking tonneau cover. Now, my long bed AT4, I had a truck box on the back with storage, and then from there I had the tonneau cover. But you're not standing on that tonneau cover. No way, right? Like, it's going in, a knife, instantly open it, no problem. But it kept the snow out, the rain out, and keeps honest people honest, right? They don't see what's in there. But I'm excited to see the locking tonneau cover and the strength of it, and the fact that I could walk on it if I want to. I'm excited for that. The extra storage in the bed of the truck will take up some of that space that I had in my long bed that I needed for the toolbox. There's a lot of space under the seats in the cab where you can store stuff underneath there, so I'll be utilizing that as well. And of course the frunk. So in the end, can I store everything I need in my Cybertruck? I'm going to be ordering some of the bins for the bed as they come available and such. But I really think it's going to work out well for me. I'm very excited to have it in my business and see how that works. And of course, love it or hate it, you're looking at it. So we are going to wrap it eventually with all of our business logos. But our business is going through a rebrand process right now. So we will be delayed on wrapping the truck. So I will get to have some opportunity to see, does it rust? Does the oil from the roads mess with the stainless steel? How about dings from rocks? I've heard that it does leave imprints in the stainless steel versus chipping out some paint. It'll actually leave a little ding, and then you can kind of see that when you're looking down, with the light on the truck. So we'll be filming that, showing that. But at the end of the day, it's a truck, right? So I'm okay with the scratches and the dents and the dings, and it's supposed to be very strong. So, and I won't have to deal with all the paint that I was missing on my AT4. The whole front of my AT4 truck had dings and missing paint all over it. The back by the tires were just gone. The paint was gone, literally. And where the front tires would kick up to the running boards, those running boards had a black finish on it. Gone, all on the bottom, right? Like the rocks on the road I live on just completely removed all the paint and all of that on the underside, even with mud flaps. Now, I had a wrap done, which covered the lower section, and there were still some areas where it had ripped through the wrap and actually took off the paint. So this road I live on is pretty tough, and I want to see how the Cybertruck handles it. So it's pretty exciting. So I think the Cybertruck is going to be worth it. I'm pretty excited, and I will share everything with you guys. Tomorrow will be the day, and it's kind of hitting me a little bit. I'm not getting too excited because it's been so many years. I'm just kind of like waiting till the moment I'm in the seat, and I feel like that's the moment I'm gonna be like, it's finally here. 4.5 years. But exciting times, love it or hate it, it's going to be an experience.